All right, a little bit of context for those of you who are absent due to activities. What you see up here on the board is you have this list already, and this will be for Friday. If you had looked on Plan Book, it says exams on Thursday and Friday, but I think it's beneficial for all involved, and I think just tomorrow will be sufficient for the problem solving, and then Friday will be your last evaluation ever for some of you. So time to, is that rejoice, or is that where you say hallelujah, or wherever it is you want to approach that? Okay.
If you don't work on the columns, you could just be done.
That's correct. Okay? And I realize some of this is abbreviated. That's adrenocorticotropic hormones. And with this, the best way to look at that, this is a fatty acid that is lacking what? Double bonds. Can this go through hydrogenation? No, it cannot, okay? So it's things like that that you have that content up in your mind. You just have to find the appropriate file, open it up, and say, oh, there it is, okay? So if we know what this is, how is that different from an unsaturated fatty acid then? There's going to be just one double bond in the compound that can go through hydrogenation, and then a polyunsaturated fat would be one that has multiple double bonds. Okay. So we got that straightened out now, and at least we hope. And do any of you ever look at Plan Book at all? Sure. Okay. So that's what we're doing up on that wall. Sometimes I get that changed on Plan Book, but sometimes it's something that slips my mind. But yes, only tomorrow and Friday. Okay, so can this be erased? Okay. Oh, that's in the, I happened to find that. It was on the other side of the room, and yeah, I did wash it. I could, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I made it this far. We'll save that for another time.
Get that one over there.
Oh, is that bothering you? Oh, okay. That's, okay. There. Oh, so much better. I've done this inadvertently before. Oops. Dropped a marker. I wasn't paying attention. I dropped it in like that.
That is triggering too.
It's nothing's right in your world right now because that marker's upside down.
I still would probably.
Well, I just kept right on talking in this class, and I said, what's the problem? I'm looking at your markers, and you got one of them upside down. Okay. There. It's like fingers on a chalkboard. Ah. Biting, what?
That's
Brain free? Oh, what?
nah, just like biting into a popsicle with your teeth.
Well, don't do it then.
Even watching someone do it, it makes me want to throw up. Icky.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. It's probably not funny. But
Do you bite into cheese stick? Yeah, that doesn't bother me. It's just like the coal on your teeth.
you know, now that you mentioned that, I maybe take things too seriously. I don't know. It was I saw this picture that had the characters from The Wizard of Oz, and they're all sitting on a park bench eating ice cream, and they're all doing this, except for the straw man, the scarecrow. And I just look at it and said, well, he must have said something stupid, and they're all going like this. But no, that's not the case.
Strawberry.
See, I had to be told that. Of course, it makes sense. Sometimes we just take things too seriously, like the PU. I'm trying to analyze. Did I write something wrong down up here or something? Or see, you even missed something.
I'm not even lying. I didn't see that. I just wanted.
So, okay. Okay. So with this, there are 4 main concepts that we talked about. So if I'm not mistaken, I think in order, okay, this was the first one. And then this was the second one. And this one was the third one. And then this one was the fourth one.
Can we go through one of each, please?
Yes, you can have one of your classmates up here and
I don't even know. I don't even remember this.
plug your ear so it doesn't fall out. Well, see, pour the content in there.
When she teaches it, I'll plug my ears and make sure it don't fall out.
Well, some of this is based off of old content, like, oh, I thought I put an R in there. It's just kind of funny looking. There, that looks a little better. Also, it's been on my radar to do this. It's a Modern Marvels episode. It's called Fry It, okay? And when it says fry it, it talks about a lot of the different oils that are used to fry things. And that will start on Wednesday, and they're only 40 minutes. We might be able to wrap up the whole thing, and we'll point out things to be paying attention to for that. All right. So moving forward, okay. In this, the only thing that's going to remain constant between them two is this compound, whether it's something that you need to form a triglyceride or it's already a triglyceride and you form its alcohol and fatty acid. Starts with the letter G. Why is that significant? What is glycerol? It's what you need. That's what it is, right? Okay. So with this, based off of old information, what is esterification?
Making an ester.
Well, it is. That's right. It's simple enough. See? We don't need to go through this. We already... Oh. Okay. Sorry. Alcohol and acid. And in this case, since it's okay. Since it's a triglyceride, okay, just try to talk normal, okay, you have to have 3 of them, okay? Okay, so what is going to be the difference between this middle carbon and the other 2 on the ends?
Instead of CH2, right?
Close. You're on the right track. The difference is, okay, this is OH, like you said, it's an alcohol and an acid. This carbon has how many hydrogens? Okay, this carbon has how many hydrogens? Okay, and then this carbon has just 1. Okay, unless you really, really wanted to be specific, you could say 3, 2, and 3, but in how I think it's logical to approach this, this is just your OH group. This does not count in its bonding. Okay, so then if we are going to add, okay, name an acid. Okay, so let's see here. This is where it gets to be kind of tricky. Okay, now you can do this because I noticed it on your paper, how you had remembered them. Some of you had wrote this, and it's not that. I think that's 10, correct? And then, okay, you can do that, but it's just maybe a little more difficult to. So in your estimation, what makes more sense? If this bottle cap is your carboxy group, do you like seeing it like that, or do you like it like this? When you flip it around. Okay. So if you're an individual that does this, that's fine. It's just a little more difficult to follow. So we don't have to erase that. This comes off, and then, okay. And then, I guess even better, because I think this is how you were instructed with it, and that's how we learned it a long time ago. That probably even makes more sense. Okay, so we're not concerned about saying what type of, oh my God, it's already 10, okay. We're not concerned about the dehydration reagent between these, okay? So just know that, is it the OH or just the H that comes off of this?
OH.
Okay, so it's just the hydrogen, okay? Then this, then that oxygen bonds with that carbon, and then that forms your ester, okay? So then what about if you see, all right, I'm wasting time here. Okay, that would be the known ones. Now, this is just one that is for matching purposes. And I believe the first one, it's 2, 3, no, 3. Then I think it goes CH, CH2. And that's 2, and then, okay. That's one that we want you to recognize. Okay, that's if we have, do we do that right? Darn it, I got them flip-flopped. Everything's right except this. This one's 3, this one's 2. Then it's right. Okay? So what type of acid what type is it, first of all? Not the name of it, but what type is it? It's a polyunsaturated fatty acid, or carboxylic acid. It's not a fatty acid until you get all 3 of these lined up. Now, that's also significant. Why? It's polyunsaturated, and can that go anywhere else in another placement on here? It can go through hydrolysis, it can go through hydrogenation, and can it become rancid? Yes. Okay. Does lauric acid go through hydrolysis? Yes. Okay. It doesn't go through hydrogenation. Does it become rancid? No. Okay. So that's you have to have something like this, a double bond, to go through this process and that process. Okay? So now, the last one, pick an unsaturated acid. You can do palmitoleic or oleic. Okay, palmitoleic. So that means, again, we have HO. Okay, so in this case, when we flip it around, we've got, I think that's, nope, that's not right. That 2's not there. And we don't need the parentheses either. And then, okay, this palmitoleic acid, does it go through hydrolysis? Yes, all of these can go through hydrolysis. Can this go through hydrogenation? Yes. And what about rancidity? Yes. Okay. So to me, if we understand this concept or this process, hydrolysis is just the opposite. Okay. You've got your fatty acid, and you go back to its, or your triglyceride, you go back to its individual components. Okay. So then with becoming rancid, okay, we'll do that as, yes?
For hydrolysis, you just write a whole new one out and
Start with
write it
one and then you end with two.
write it like normal, not backwards.
What happens is when you do this, okay, so I'm just going to put this top one on here, okay? So keep in mind, since those boxes are on there, okay, now we've got that O, okay, and then that's bonded to that carbon, that double bonded oxygen is still there, and then CH2 times 10, and then CH3. So when this goes through hydrolysis, okay, oops. No, I don't need to write that twice. There we go. So when this goes through hydrolysis, then you're adding water to it. So then that OH group ends up back on here. That hydrogen ends up back on there, and you got your two components. Because hydrolysis and esterification are opposites of one another. Okay?
So you have water.
That's what does it, yes. But you don't need to know that. If it just says go through the process of hydrolysis, you've got your fatty acid here, your triglyceride, and then
So the answer for the gross on the bottom would be the top one gross station.
correct.
Plus.
Okay? So then this is what you get in esterification, but then if you're doing hydrolysis, like you said, we're adding water to that. Well, then you get this, and then I guess that bond is still there. Okay? And then that oxygen is still there. There's one of your hydrogens, one of these, and then you go back to now you get your individual components again. Okay, that's what we mean by they are reversible. Okay? Now, that was probably a lot of content in quite a bit amount of time. Front row, are we good with this? Second row.
Besides the rancidity.
Third row. Or do you want me to go back and do this later on today and put it on the channel?
I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
Okay, so I can go ahead and do that. And then if you haven't seen it, that it hasn't popped up yet, then maybe I'll just have to do it at home quick, okay? So no, you don't have to know this from memory. That's just a matching on Friday. You don't have to know this from memory. That's just a matching question. Vitamins,
All we need to know tomorrow is those four.
those four.
Like, we don't need to know the norepinephrine, epinephrine.
No, nope, none of that. That's
Not the
Friday.
vitamins.
Correct. That's not until Friday as well. Vitamins and
But we are gonna have to know how to draw.
yes.
Uric acid.
But that you do, those first four, lauric, mysteric, palmitic, and I skipped one again, darn it. Lauric, mysteric, palmitic, and I do that every time, okay? Lauric, mysteric, palmitic. Oh, when I hear myself say mysteric, I think I'm saying stearic acid. That's what I'm, okay, so those four. Okay, so look for that at a later time. So take care of the little things, and everything will hopefully take care of itself. Catch up to you next time.